Hey, what's the deal, YouTube? It's your girl, Miss Honey. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back. You guys, it's Tuesday. You know what that means? That means Queen Sugar, okay? And we were hoping to escape into the land of Queen Sugar, into the land of beautiful people, beautiful things, beautiful textures, beautiful clothing, just all things melanated. But alas, COVID has hit Queen Sugar as well. Now, this is only episode 2. And by the end of this episode, it kind of crescendos. It doesn't hit us all at once. They did a really, really good job kind of mimicking what was really going on for us end of February, 1st of March, this time last year. And that's this slow build of panic, right? This slow build of just complete and utter chaos, right? But let's talk about some non-COVID things. It really wasn't a super meaty episode. And I do feel like I think I was just so enamored with Queen Sugar being back last week. I didn't really notice, but I do notice now that things do seem a bit rushed, right? First things first, I heard a lot of discussion about Micah maybe being a sophomore because he was able to pledge. But today it's confirmed that Micah is actually a freshman. Okay. And it is going to be homecoming. Charley has finally gotten Micah on the phone and gotten him to settle in one space. Of course, your parents come to homecoming. And so they want to know, hey, should we just come straight to your dorm? And he's like, oh, no, no, no. Meet me in the quad, because this is how he's going to roll out this whole new Gamma Zeta Beta Phi thing. And Kiki is there, so they brought Kiki with them, and she's got a friend there, a guy friend that runs the smoothie stand, and she knows him from back home in Lafayette, and he goes to Micah's school. Okay. So yeah, Charley and Davis get to his school and they're looking for him. They don't know where he is. In comes the dancing girls with their little booty shorts on. And they're just introducing the new line. Like, this is the day that new Gamma Zeta Beta Phi, whatever it is, their new line drops, right? Like the people who've crossed over, like the new Zetas, I guess, Gammas, I don't know. Anyway, they come a marching out, choo 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 choo, boom, bop, 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 and they got their line names already. And Michael's up front, looking young as hell to me. And they got their names on their back. And one guy was named Prophet. He came out first and he had a lot to say. It wasn't very prophetic, but okay. Anywho, then it's Micah's turn. And his name is Showtime. I was like, Showtime? Showtime? What is we doing? What is we talking about? Showtime? I'm confused. When you say Showtime, what is we talking about? Micah? Y'all should have gave him a name like Affiliated, you know? and he's doing this, yeah, what kind of dance. I was like, come on, Micah. Come on. Come on. Come on. Are you cut out for this? Like, is this you? Like, this your lifestyle? Like, you let somebody give you a name like Showtime? Why? I didn't understand that. It seemed like real random, like they pulled it out of a hat. I was like, Michael should have been Prophet at very least. I mean, Firecracker, something, but Showtime? Anyway, Davis looked shocked because it turns out he pledged a completely different fraternity, right? And of course, y'all know Charley stays in a position of disappointment as it comes as it pertains to Micah, because she feels like she knows what's the best, choices for him to make for his life, right? All moms feel that way, but Charley especially, because she's got a little bit of a control issue. So, um, the next day they talk about it in his dorm room, and she was letting him know that she following this whole virus situation. She's hearing a lot of stuff about it on the news, and if it turns out to be something very serious, she needs him to come home. Yeah, everybody head to the homestead. That's emergency 101, right? So, of course, Micah thinks he knows everything. He thinks that he is the originator. Oh, I remember being that way as well. It's just so funny how you're so sure. I'm almost 20 years old. You're so sure that you have got it all together at that age. Like you've got it figured out. Like you know what I'm saying? Like it's hilarious. And she was like, "Oh, okay, sorry, Mike. I didn't mean to overstep my bounds with you. I'm gonna pull up and respect your choices." And for a fleeting moment, Michael looked like, "Wait, but wait, but wait. You can still bring me cocoa and sweet rolls." I was like, mm-hmm. And then later on, we see Micah talking to Kiki, and he is telling her there's nothing to him dancing with the girls, that's affiliated with his sorority. It's just a part of fraternity. And she was like, boy, bye. Ain't nobody think about that. And he got to thinking to himself, I believe, like, you ain't worried about me cheating. That must be because you cheating. Well, who was that dude I saw you talking to over at the smoothie stand? And she was like, oh, that's Zorel. His dad owns a body shop back in Lafayette. He's real nice. He's a real cool guy. And Micah is side-eyeing her. I was like, all right, Micah. Pump your brakes, Showtime. Pump your brakes. You are not in control of Kiki or Kiki's body or Kiki's choices. You might as well get your mind wrapped around that now before you end up with a charge. I'm just saying. You smelling yourself. Okay? You're smelling yourself, Micah. Go ahead and pump them. Go ahead and pump them on down, sir. You know what I'm saying? I know you all up in here with it, but pump your brakes. Okay, so that's Micah. Then let's talk about Ra and Darla. Ra and Darla are planning a small but stylish wedding. Oh, and beautiful. Why? Because Darla's beautiful. No, you're beautiful. No, you're beautiful. I was like, oh, nothing makes me nervous like Ralph, Angel, and Darla. Like, it is always so pensive. I can see it in the comments, not just on my video, but other videos I was looking at. Everybody was having a lot of issues with Darla. Like, all the subbies, all the reviewers, they was having some Darla anxiety. And I have to say I felt confident about them last week and hopeful. And this week it was just something about the way they had these pensive moments in the scenes, where Ralph Angel would walk off and Darla would still be standing there and looking at him and taking a deep breath. I'd be like, Darla, let me smell your breath, Darla. Let me smell your breath. Lord, let me check your arms. Let me check your veins. Let me look in between your toes. Like, Darla, please, please, I'm begging you, Darla, be decent. Be decent this season. Don't be such a muck up this season. Please, Darla, I'm begging you. I don't think Ralph Angel could take it. I don't think Blue could take it. And I know I can't take it. But I still remain hopeful. And she wants him to plan the honeymoon, and it's his idea that they will go to New York and see a show. And she was like, "Oh, that sounds really, really great, right?" um, they also talk about how they're going to really just focus on this. It's not going to be about stressing about the harvest or this whole eminent domain situation. Um, they're going to really, really, really try to guard their own personal joy and not let anything or anyone steal that. I was like, hold that thought, because old Rona, old Rona got a pocket full of joy. She can't have mine, but listen, it's plenty of folks' joy. Yeah, she got tucked down in her bra. Anywho, so one day while Darla is learning chess from Blue, this was the first time I saw Blue, and he did seem older. But one of my subbies had a good point last week. Let Blue stay a baby, a child, innocent and pure as, for as long as possible. Just let him stay right there. And when you see how Micah is out here, full grown, musty, you know what I'm saying, attitudinal, I get it. I get it. But this is the first time I've seen him where he did look like pre-teenish to me. And Darla's got some news for Ralph Angel, and that is that her manager recommended her for a management position inside the company. And I think she has to travel to do the interview. I'm not quite sure. But immediately she calls Charley over and has Charley just give her some advice about interviewing. And Charley gives her great advice. It's not about being desperate for a job. It's about you showing that hiring manager that you've got something important. You bring something very, very valuable to the table that will be an asset to the company. In other words, you can't lose with the stuff I use, right? And it's not about being cocky. It's just about understanding that your skill set and that your years of experience carries weight, and how to convey that over in an interview setting. And there are a lot of people who are degreed professionals. They've done thesis papers. They have done speaking events and those type of things. But they, for whatever reason, when it comes to interviewing, they lock up. So it's no wonder, given everything Darla has been through, that she lacks confidence when it comes to interviewing. And she's nervous, right? So, it was really, really good advice. Later on, we see where Ralph, Angel, and Darla are coming back from somewhere, and they hear a little bit on the radio about this whole virus that's coming, and she's worried about Prosper, and she's heard some things about it affecting the elderly. And Ralph Angel, again, he doesn't want to talk about any of this, boo-hoo heavy stuff. He just, everything's gonna be fine, everything's gonna be good, nothing's gonna steal our joy, it's gonna be great. Of course, he's thinking about the wedding. He is thinking about the harvest. He is just concerned, really, how this is going to affect he and the farm, right? And, his plans for this happy life with Darla. Um, we see where Darla is standing in the mirror, and she's kind of pep talking herself and pep talking herself and pep talking herself. And Ralph Angel is right there to encourage her, to reassure her. Like it it's also beautiful. It's also lovely. I mean, Darla looks really good. She looks really good. She looks really healthy. She's not giving us this, this mealy mouth, meek, shoulders forward, gaunt, mousy. She's not giving us that weak, fragile Darla. She looks very healthy. She looks very confident. Ralph Angel's love is good for Darla. It's good for her skin, okay? It's good for her posture, okay? It's good for putting just a little bit of bass in her voice, and coming out of Mouseyville, right? And where we see them kind of leave off is in this sort of apprehensive stance. Darla is more concerned about this virus than Ralph Angel is, and rightfully so, right? Rightfully so. But she doesn't push the issue. Okay, so Nova. Nova is meeting Calvin's family for the first time. It's his grandfather's 85th or 95th birthday, and so the whole family is coming out. All of his kids are going to be there, except I think the one that he has in college is what Nova says. And she's trying to figure out outfits. She has this really great moment with Charley where Charley just tells her to be herself. I mean, you're perfectly lovely. Just be you. They're going to love you, right? And, at least they're younger kids. The younger kids are easier to win over. So this is a win-win for you. You're going to do fine. And it's a lovely moment because when we started season 4, we did not like Nova. We did not like Nova. And it was a big setback, Nova writing that book. But I'm glad to see that they are coming full circle with this thing, because you think she said some horrible things about Darla and Blue's fraternity and all of that stuff. The stuff she told about Davis and Charley in that situation, I don't know. Nobody but God. Nobody but God, right? Anyway, so she gets to Calvin's house. She's got this beautiful blue and white dress on. It's like a tent dress almost, but it's got a real nice collar and beautiful print on it. And I think the bottom has a bit of a ruffle, a fun, flirty ruffle. And it looks beautiful against her skin. Calvin's mom comes up first. Nova has flowers for her, and she's very, very cordial. She tells Nova where the food is and make herself comfortable. Seems like a really nice lady. I mean, I was like, okay, if you can get past the mama, you doing good, right? So then she meets Grandpa, and Grandpa got a puzzled look on his face like, what is you doing here with Kizzy? And Nova gives him an aged Scotch child. Just like that, he fine. Or he seem fine. We don't know what he gonna be like after he have a couple of 2 or 3 fingerfuls of that Scotch. But I digress. So then Calvin's little girl runs up. She's a beautiful little girl. She had a sweet little dress on. And he introduces her to Nova. He did everything like he should do it, right? Introduced Nova as his special friend, and introduced Nova as his special friend to his little girl. Gave her a gift and told her that Nova picked it out. She looked at Nova and said, "I love your dress and it's very pretty." And Nova said, "Your dress is pretty as well." Very nice, Nova. Very, very nice. You doing real good. And so she offered to put the necklace on the little girl, and the little girl was like, "Oh, okay. It goes beautifully with your dress." And she turns around and whips that hair around and lets Nova go ahead and put that necklace on. And his mom, the grandmom, is watching from afar, and she is like, okay, she's, this might work. She seemed like she getting along good with the babies, right? So Calvin and Noah at a distant tent just off of the porch, and he brings up, I guess, his second oldest boy, and Brad, whatever. Whatever they call Caucasians, Chuck. This is my special friend Nova. And he was like, "Hey." I was like, "Oh, okay." He's in that age range anyway, where they kind of pissy about everything. You know what I'm saying? They caught between baby and buck. You know what I mean? But yeah, the way he did her though, like he been listening at some doors and he know he not supposed to like her. You know what I'm saying? He probably done heard his mama talking around the house. Speaking of mama, Haley is there. Haley is his ex-wife. And uh she comes up trying to be nice nasty about Nova being there. And listen, I wasn't mad about that because Nova did sleep with her husband while she was married to him, right? Like, I just think you asking a lot of a woman not to feel a type of way about that, right? Black, white, Indian, Asian. I'm just telling you. I thought that was pretty normal, you know, and it's something that Nova's gonna have to always live with, knowing that this is the way that she got Calvin, and be specially aware of it because you know what they say: how you get him is how you lose him, right? I'm just telling you what they say, right? Okay, I understood her shading over about not being the only one. Where you went too far, Haley, was you started to talk about, oh, at least you're skinny. He always have liked them exotic, but at least you're skinny. I thought for a while there he was preferring thick, the ones with the big old booties. And Nova stepped up and she did it real tame, because Calvin's mom had already said, keep your voices down. We don't get rowdy up in here. Nova stepped right up just a little bit, and said, "You better watch yourself." I was like, "Oh, oh, 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 oh. All right, girl, pay attention, pay attention." Not only her telling you better watch yourself, but the way she pierced that mouth a little bit and showed you better watch yourself. That's letting you know you 2 seconds away from getting mollywopped. You have to take little clues like that and get the hell on. Or at least put a door between you and that person. Friendly advice. But she ain't had to get rah-rah. Oh, because Calvin was here for it. Calvin walked right up to Haley to her face, and she said she is special. She's the only one, okay? And I had to wait until she would have me. Ooh, I said, ooh, would have you. That's right. That's right. Mm-hmm. Would have you. That's right. No, Nova is the prize. Mm. And he said anything else I was doing before that was just passing time. Now, he was trying to shut her down. It hurt her feelings. You could see it on her face. But also, I imagine that it was hurtful to your children as well, because you don't create 3 and 4 babies with a woman you just passing time with. All right. I know, I get it. You was stinging her. You was stinging her, right? Because she was getting up inappropriate with your girl. And you should have took up for your girl. That was the right thing to do, because Haley was about to go all the way left, and Nova was going to have to drag her up in there. You did the right thing. But I'm just saying, it would have been better for you all to just leave than for you to stand there and tell the mother of your children that you was just passing time with her until you could be with Nova. It's hurtful. It's hurtful. It's hurtful. And it says a lot about how you did things, in my opinion. In my opinion. I don't have a lot of rah-rah for cheaters. I just don't. I understand you fall in love with who you fall in love with. I get all that. I do think that what Nova and what Calvin have is very real and authentic, but you cannot shake the the aura, the aura of the origin. Okay, the origin of this relationship is one where you guys were cheating and he was married. So, well, the next day they walking along the riverbank, and she got a lot on the mind. She been quiet, and she want to know, have he been with any other, you know, I guess she was asking him how many black women he's been with. He was like, I've been with a lot of women. I've been with a lot of different type of women. Or are you fetishizing? Because I cannot be objectified. And he was like, I have loved a lot of different women of all different, ilk, shapes, sizes, colors, yada, yada, yada. And I was like, and you have too, Nova. You loved all types of men and women. Okay, boo? Pump your brakes. Pump your brakes. Now, I know you wasn't married at the time, but all I'm saying is you like a cornucopia of different types of things. And it stands to reason that he would too. But again, she just speaking out of fear. Just trying to make sure that she not in the deep end of the ocean by herself, right? And he just talks to her about how she's the love of his life. Like, he has always loved her, and he did wait for her, and how she is very special to him. And I tell you, up until this point, I was thinking Nova looks good. I was also thinking she looks a little weird around the face. I don't know if it's because her hair was cut, but in this moment where her eyes are full of tears, and she's looking up at him, and her eyes are kind of darting and dancing, and they're just full of like little glimmers, because she's got these giant pools of water weighing down. Oh my gosh. Nova looks so beautiful. She looks so beautiful. She looks so vulnerable and transparent and just fully trusting. And it was just this really, really beautiful moment where you could see they really do love each other. They really, really do love each other. Yeah, it was a great scene. I really enjoyed that. Okay. So, we're going to talk about Charley, and then we're going to talk about Aunt Vi and Hollywood. Charley got snubbed by Miss Parker. I think it was a power move. Now, they had an appointment, and she went down to the office, and come to find out she done cancel all her schedule, and she gone. Now, Charley done called around there to a connection she got at the airport, and found out that she hopped on a first class flight, and she had a carry-on bag, and she seemed like she was in a hurry. Now, Charley is not sure what's going on now, and she don't know if it's pertaining to this whole virus situation or not. Because right now, people are you can just hear on the TV screens in different scenes where they're kind of lightly talking about it, just like what we were hearing, right? And Charley, turns on the TV and she sees where they're talking about, and that's when she got the call from Micah about homecoming. So she was distracted. And then um, she goes over, she helps Darla, and everything is Gucci. Everything is gravy. It seems like, Micah's got his issues, but, that'll work itself out. All of a sudden, she's getting text. Like, this is serious. She had feelers out to an epidemiologist friend of hers, and just to see what was going on. And I mean, she's getting like rolling texts. This is serious. This is going to be really bad. And you guys need to, you know, get stay on alert, like warning, warning, danger, danger. And um Charley, being councilwoman, just starts making the calls. She just starts making the calls. She's got to look out for the people of the parish, right? And it's Hollywood and Aunt Vi's, the anniversary of their first date. They've been going together for 18 years. Now, some of y'all younger people, y'all don't know what going together is, because all y'all do is hook up. But back in my day, you used to go together. Before my time, used to call it going steady, right? But 80s and 90s, it was called going together, right? Y'all go together. So they've been going together for 18 years. And Hollywood finally, almost got the finishing touches on his Black Man's Country Club, which I think he's gonna call the real spot. And Aunt Vi has purchased him a beautiful sign to go up with his logo and everything on it. It's really, really nice. And you guys know Vi and Hollywood always have such warm, genuine moments. You can't help to love their love. Or if you're not already, it makes you want to be in love, right? So they're going to meet back um at the spot, and she's gonna wear the same outfit she wore that night, baby. With and Hollywood had the same outfit on too. He had on like an orange crush two-piece, the kind you get at the flea market, or down in South Decatur Mall at the Chinese store. You bought your sets. You could get a short set or you could get a pants set, right? And he had his gold chain on and he had his shoes on, child. And he was dancing around the spot. He had it set up real nice, just like they first date, like they was in that club. And she come in looking like boom, bam, pow, Foxy Brown. I was like, okay, bye, come through 1B33. Oh, child. Vi is a good looking woman. She is a good looking woman. They just reminisced about the stuff that they did on the first day, how she gave him a hard time and tried to brush him off and stuff because he was a younger guy, and how he wasn't having that because he saw what he liked, he know what he liked, and she what he liked. Ooh, I was like, Hollywood. Break it down, break it down. Okay. So, they just having a lovely, lovely time. And Hollywood had already earlier in the day had to have this warm heart-to-heart talk with Prosper, because Prosper, like most elderly people, spend a good part of their day watching the news, okay? And they be keeping up. They be keeping up because they need to know what to be worried about. And Prosper was concerned about this virus. It's up in Canada, but it's ravaged most of China. And I'm worried about it, and they say it affects the elderly worse than anything. And it was just a moment that was palpable to me, because I remember when they told us at our job that you're going to go home right now and you're not going to come back for 2 weeks until we see what this thing is. Take all your equipment and work from home. I just remember the first thing I was thinking about was, oh my gosh, how am I going to be able to keep my mom and dad safe? You know what I mean? They're 70 plus, and it was all I could think about. It was all I could think about. And I mean, I was hyper vigilant about them getting sick because I knew I wasn't going to be able to go to the hospital with them. I knew that I wasn't going to be able to take care of them, that I was going to have to give them over to someone and trust that they were going to see about them, and that was just unacceptable for me. So it was I could feel the intenseness of this scene and of this moment between Prosper and Hollywood, and I could feel that it was a deliberate moment of pause that Ava meant to happen, because this is really how it was hitting the regular folk, the people who have a lot of personal responsibility, the people who still have their loved ones, their moms and their dads, you know what I mean? Neighbors, their friends, the mothers at church. Like, we're really the ones out here losing our family members, right? Anyway, and so for each one of our characters, they're learning little by little that this thing is inching closer and closer. And so while Hollywood and Vi are at their anniversary date night situation, Charley calls, and Aunt Vi wants to call her back, and she says, "No, this is serious. I need to talk to you about this." And Charley basically tells Vi, knocks her feet kind of from under her, but I love the way Vi, knowing Charley and trusting Charley, she immediately said, "Okay, I get it." Charley was like, "This is serious. We are going to shut the parish down for 2 weeks and close the businesses up and see where we are in 2 weeks. But this is very, very serious. And it is not only in the United States, but it is in Louisiana already. Okay? And I need you to shut down Vi's Pies." And that's what Vi did. Next day, her and Hollywood put a sign on the door, "Open again April 1st," and locked up Vi's Pies. Likewise, we see Nova and Calvin sitting on the couch, and he's trying to figure out what Trump is saying. This is him assuming that Trump does have a heart somewhere. Like, he's a complete idiot. This is what Nova is saying, but he's like, no, he wouldn't toy with people's lives. Well, we now know some 500,000 people later, yes, he would, right? It's a little hard to watch. It's a little hard to watch, being that we're coming up on 1 year in this pandemic, and that's a lot, 365 days. So you see people in the beginning, all I could think about was, we need to get Prosper some masks. We need to get Prosper some masks. And like, in the beginning, we weren't really sure. People were saying masks are useless, and if you can breathe through them, you can get a virus through them. We know now that covering your face is the best possible defense, and keeping your hands washed. But they didn't know that then. But inside, that's what I'm screaming. Somebody go and take Prosper masks, right? Like, anyway, so that's where we are now. We are in episode 2, season 5, and we are in full pandemic mode. And I'm just really wondering how they're going to roll it out. I saw previews for next week, and it looks like they're doing a really good job of moving through it, just like they're in the pandemic. So I'm really interested in episode 3. You guys tell me what you thought of this episode of the Nova and Calvin family scene. I would love to know what you guys thought about that. Am I the only one that believes that Nova, you know, that Haley has a right to be upset to a certain degree. I mean, how do you guys feel about the Ralph, Angel, and Darla situation? Are you guys feeling as anxious about it as I am? I felt a little bit better about it as the episode went on, but we all know that Darla and Ralph Angel don't do good under stress initially. They both have a tendency to muck it up and then come back and fix it. Um, yeah, y'all tell me what you think. Put it down below. And until next time, honeybees, mwah, 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 I holla.